Yo, what's up, Ori and the Blind Forest fans out there? I hope you guys are all ready for more Ori action after the races we've already had this morning or this afternoon or this evening, wherever you are. And we're bringing you the number 9 seeded nfnite against the number 24 seeded Cleanfel. My name is Trojan Dude, and I have the pleasure of commentating this match with none other than Covert Muffin. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this matchup. We've already seen some really insane bracket matches so far that have actually really come down to the wire, even though we start with these big PB differentials. nfnite right now, his PB is about 3 minutes faster than Clean, but we'll get into that. Here is an image showing off the bracket, and as you can see, about halfway down at match 3, we are showcasing nfnite versus Cleanfel. The winner of this match is going to progress to the round of 16 to face off of Raziel. But each of these matches in round of 32 are only one game. So each of the runners only gets one chance, Trojan, to be able to close out a win here.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things we were kind of talking about, in the pre-match while we were discussing this, is that a lot of the top-seeded runners have not been taking they haven't been paring back their strats. They've been going for the crazy stuff and the very optimal stuff, and that's had some really tight points in some of these like really diverse seed matchups. And as you can see here, the qualifier time for nfnite was a 30:56, and Cleanfel was about 3 minutes behind at a 33:59. So again, we'll have to see if nfnite decides to make some concessions or we'll just continue to do this, because for the route, we see he's doing the crazy juggle as opposed to the normal terror break method that we've been seeing from a lot of runners.
Yeah, so the crazy juggle is going to allow him to be able to skip an ability cell about like halfway through the run, which will save him a little bit of time. But then also it's going to save a little bit of time later in the run. But it's an insanely difficult trick and very unforgiving if you miss or drop a single input. So really going to be crazy seeing nfnite bust that out later on. We'll see how that goes. But Cleanfel going for the terror break, which is sort of the standard for most of the runners on the leaderboard right now. But it's just a little bit slower. That being said, both runners are going to be rocking that 5 health overall, not taking the 6 health. So the final escape at the very end of the run could also be a point of contention. But beyond that, both of the runners are very seasoned. As we see, nfnite actually found a double bash method, which is a 1-frame trick with 1/60th of a second timing press by using an analog stick for the controller. And that's been like really awesome to see some runners pick up. But looks like our runners are going to be ready. We're going to be kicking off momentarily, Trojan.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. It's going to be awesome. And going off of how these runners must be feeling now that we're in the bracket stage, Cleanfel has already actually expressed he's reached his goal. He's gotten that sub 34 time, got that PV, and is just going to be going and having fun. So might be playing with nothing to lose, whereas nfnite is the clear favorite in this, and we'll have to see if nerves get the best of him as we continue on. But for now, we're going through this very straightforward section at the start, and there's not going to be much diversity in their movement as we go towards getting our nice little companion sign.
Yeah, sign's going to be very vital with being able to set up our experience throughout the run, and that is going to be very important for our runners to pay close attention to that as they progress through the first couple of minutes. That being said, also sort of like touching on nfnite's quals themselves, he actually had a few quals that were like within 30 seconds of his at the time PB. So he's been able to bust out these really low times. So nfnite's going to look to try and have a really sturdy early game and first sort of 10 to 15 minutes of the run. And if he's able to do that, he might just be able to run away with this late.
Yeah, definitely. And as we've seen already in some of the other races, there's been some big early deaths or some miscues that have allowed the lower seed runner to get about a minute head start, going towards past dash and going towards the Ginso tree. And so we'll have to see if that plays into it. But for now, these runners are going to be picking up some very specific experience, and what I love about the early game is that everybody's thought process about what experience to get is so varied, and there's a lot of ways you can spice that up. And so far it's been about the same, but it gets very interesting once you get closer to actually getting to the wall jump tree.
Yeah, Infinite doing a great job on the left, checking his health, making sure it's down to 2. He's going to hit the slime and damage boost through. Clean also gets a really nice damage boost, getting vacuum spiked through that slime, and they are going to both be able to get the 1 HP Ghost Door, so no time differential there. If you end up having 2 or 3 health going through that, that loses you like about a second or slightly more than that. So nicely done from both runners, and so no clear sort of lead change as of now.
Yeah, and they're both getting this 4th HP, which is just a lot of safety as you go through most of the run, as opposed to the top runners will go for 3 because it's a little bit faster to skip that and then get the 5 HP later. And Cleanfel did take a hit, but did get the health cell from that little flower. So both of them are at full health. They should have no problem getting through the rest of this section.
Ooh.
Although I say that and I don't want to jinx it.
Uh-oh, yeah, looking on the left, Infinite's EXP is looking very low. This is going to be a little bit tricky for a time level up. That is going to be later on. And so he might actually have to end up killing a few extra things to be able to make up that EXP differential. Definitely taking the 4 there. Gonna grab the 2 from the slime, and wow, nice recovery from him. Mitigating a lot of time loss there from having to scramble around trying to get his EXP to a certain value, but really, really nice on the spot thinking from Infinite.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a runner who has very good experience going through a lot of variation and just knowing that, okay, I can get this 2 HP from this falling slime, and that's not going to push me over the edge, and it's not going to leave me too far under still. So really great heads up play, and they went frame tied almost going into the wall jump tree, which is this, you know, it's Clean had very good movements, or should I say some very clean movements.
Good. Yeah, and so up here, both of them are going to grab the same level up. Looks like Infinite rocking the 8 EXP, and it looks like Clean's also at a similar value for how much experience they pick up there. This could actually sort of change what sort of strats that are going to have to break out as they go into the next area, which is Black Root Burrows, because of course we need to set up that intentional level up for the notorious Frankie Walk. And so we'll see that as they go through, but very, very nice glades from both of our runners, just being able to get through succinctly.
Yeah, and Infinite did have a little bit of cleaner movement going through that vertical area coming out of wall jump. So it did take about a 1 or 2 second lead so far. And taking another hit right there on Clean's side. That slime can be, there's a slime we call Gandalf a little bit later, but that slime can also be kind of a little bit of a Gandalf for your solid smooth movement going all the way to BRB.
Oh, all right. And so this is exactly what I was mentioning earlier. It looks like Infinite is 37 experience away from leveling up, whereas Clean is not. Oh no, Clean. So Clean has 35 experience away from leveling up. I don't know if he realizes this. This could actually be really, really bad going in here. So Clean can only kill 2 slimes. If he kills 3 of them, each of them has 12 experience, that'll cause him to level up. And he does not want to take a level up in this area. So eyes peeled on the right as he progresses through. He picks up his first 12 there and drops the save. But Infinite with a death on the left.
Oh no, but Clean, but Clean was smart. He put a safety save right there, knowing he might be a little bit nervous going through this section. So even though they both died, Cleanfel still has the lead because of that safety save and where he decided to place that safety save.
All right, so Clean on the right is now in the lead. He's going to go over here, grab this 100 experience. He is now 25 experience away from leveling up. Wait, no, that's not right. 23. There we go. Matt nailed it. And he just picked up that slime. I think if he kills this slime up here, it's going to cause him to level up. We'll see.
Yeah, I believe you are correct on that. So if he understands the way you can actually dodge that guy, there is a setup that you can consistently, if you kind of grab or you stand on the very right hand side of this platform that he's gonna jump on here in a tiny bit. Hopefully he knows that.
Oh no, he hasn't placed the save. Oh, he does. He realizes his experience. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so Clean is dodging the slime. Nice setup there, standing in very particular spots on that platform to dodge the spikes. Cleanfel on the ball and way ahead of his EXP count. Nicely done. Oh, that was so scary, man. I was really nervous. He didn't realize it.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the, you got to be really heads up in that situation, and the XP routing is very tight, you know, for the first half of the run, and that's what we mean. It's those little small variations in the early game of Ori that can really throw newer runners off, and it's that experience of dealing with all these different XP setups, these different health setups to know what you can and can't.
Yeah, and so quick race update. Both of our runners are very close together, not really separated by too much, but Infinite took a death in Blackroot Burrows, setting him back and giving Cleanfel the current lead right now. And nicely done from Clean. He is going to be stacking the cutscene Trojan. Interesting.
Yeah, this is something I was not aware that he was comfortable doing, and hopefully, I don't know how much practice he's had, especially for somebody who's only got like a sub 34. So let's see what he decides to do right here. How, if he just goes over all the way to the far left, I don't know how he's gonna play.
Yeah, so...
Oh, very nice!
Yeah, that's actually really good. If he messed up any movement there, the game can save, and he falls down, like, all the way back down to the bottom of Blackroot Burrows. So it's very scary. And Infinite not going for that cutscene stack means that Cleanfel was able to take a little bit of extra time save there over his opponent. Clean, going into Frankie Walk. Very important that he gets the Frankie low on health and is able to guide him through these spikes. That being said, it looks like Infinite is also starting Frankie Walk, so the differential still is not that much between our runners. It's anybody's race at this point.
I also want to note that Infinite went for Quick Flame, so he's doing a magnetless. And so that's a little bit of a difference. He's going to be letting his Frankie do one extra jump so that he can lure him right next to the edge of the wall. And let's see how Clean does on his entrance, and so far so good, and takes the nice safe way of just jumping across. So very good job by Clean. Oh, that was a very interesting strat that Infinite did for Magnetless right there. He kind of hopped on the wall. Most people would stand on the top and hunch near the edge, but I have never seen that strat. That's really...
Yeah, that's really cool. I've seen some other runners end up busting that out, so that's awesome. Infinite's been on top of that. But up here, on the right, point of contention, Cleanfel going for a cycle skip, and he doesn't get it. So this is 8 seconds that Infinite on the left could save over as important. If he gets this, he is going to be clawing back through into the race. And he gets the Trojan and barely dodges the 1-frame death. Oh my goodness, Infinite.
Gee, that was spooky right there. Yeah, so actually you can get caught in this, like, it's like a perfect diagonal on a singular frame, and it happens more often than you would like to think. And man, Infinite was probably a frame away. It was pretty darn close.
Yeah, that was so spooky, but look at this. They are synced now at double jump tree. Infinite being able to close that like 10+ second gap between his opponent in a singular strike. What a play.
Yeah, and I have to give Clean a lot of credit too. You know, the fact that he... Oh, and I think I had a little bit of issue right there, but, you know, he's keeping up with this guy who has, you know, a 30 or a 30 when he has a 33, and he's doing so well in the early game right now. This is a huge kudos to Clean.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're 1/3 the way through the run, folks, and Cleanfel has been able to keep up toe-to-toe. Up here, if Clean is able to get this first try, he's going to be able to match pace with his opponent. And so over on the right, doesn't quite get it. Okay, so he's going to go for a second time. Oh, no, yeah. This has a very specific notch. Gets it third try, but Infinite was able to close out that first try. And so here in this mid-game, this double jump movement, in this one of the hardest sections of the speed game to optimize, is going to be so important for both of our runners to be able to not make too many mistakes, but then also mitigate time loss by quickly retrying certain segments of the movement.
Yeah, it's not very dangerous. There's not a lot of spots where you'll take enough damage to die, other than one area near the Ginso tree, but it's just very hard to, you know, keep a smooth, you know, pace to all your movement, because, you know, double jumping vertically for this long in one section, it can, you know, takes a lot of concentration.
Yeah, it really does, Trojan. And so on the left, Infinite currently in the lead. The first to activate Grotto TP. We're going to be coming back to that later, skipping the very end of the Ginso Tree dungeon. But Cleanfel very close behind. And so Cleanfel is still in the hunt, but Infinite is starting to break away. So we're going to see how Ginso Tree goes, how Swamp Entry goes. But up here on the left, Infinite, because he's going to be going for that crazy juggle later on, is able to skip this ability cell right there, right above there. And he's going for a very specific cycle manipulation on these spinning spiky things. And so we're going to see if he gets it on the left. Yes, he was able to cancel out his dash. So it doesn't take damage and gets through there very, very quickly. Nicely done from Infinite. That's a very good.
That's a much tighter window than what he made it look like. You pretty much have to have near perfect movement with that particular dash setup as you wait before that Frankie. So really great job. But Clean does take that ability cell since he will be going for the Terror Break method, and he will. That is a complete requirement for that. As we get a 12-26 enter Ginso, so we'll get to see going into this mid game how much of a delta we have between these two runners as we go into my personal favorite dungeon in the Ginso tree, which just has so much beautiful vertical movement, all these portals that you see here, these blue lights on the walls. It's just such a great casual experience when you play through it.
Yeah, it's so true. This is like one of the best dungeons, but I also want to take a moment and really commend Infinite and just like point out how well he's playing. At Dash Tree, he was actually 29 seconds behind his PB. But just based on his sheer clean movement and being able to get through these sections like sufficiently, he was able to close like 15 of those seconds just getting towards Enter Ginso. So not that much time between Dash and Enter Ginso, but he's just playing so well right now. And if he keeps this up, he's gonna come in the gap, but Clean taking a death is going to have to quit and reload the first room in Ginso. This is not what Clean needs right now.
Oh, and then it happens to him again right there, just getting a little bit impatient as he's going for it. So hopefully he'll calm his nerves down a little bit and continue on fourth. Oh, good lord. Okay, gets a little bit of a cancel on his jump right there, but still makes it to that platform. So we'll see if he can recover a little bit here. As Infinite, Infinite gets through that with Quick Flame, much faster. I believe he got a 5 cycle on that one, so pretty good for Infinite right there.
All right, and so now Infinite going into an intentional death coming up here, so don't worry if you see one of those. And then he's going to be progressing to Bash Tree. So currently Infinite is in the lead. Cleanfel having a little bit of trouble in the initial rooms in Ginso is now going to be progressing towards that mini boss that we saw Infinite shred apart. But Infinite is in a strong lead right now.
Yeah, and Infinite actually made up a little bit more of that time. He's now only 11 seconds behind his PB at Bash right now. So Infinite is really setting the pace for Clean right now, and it's looking like he's just a train that cannot be stopped at the moment. As we get to, in my personal opinion, one of the harder areas of the whole Ginso tree with the redirect and the key dupe room, where you have to be very precise with a lot of your bash movement, which is a really nice thing when you're casually doing it. It's a nice tutorial on how to use the bash skill.
Yeah, I'm also going to point out that Infinite is doing all these bash angles on analog stick. So, like, it's pretty crazy to just see how precise and whoa! Yeah, like, he almost just, like, bashed himself straight into spikes, but nailing that intentional death, almost taking an unintentional death, but nice pace so far, and really, really nice, good movement heading through the key dupe section. And he's further closing distance to his PB. Like, this is just how well he's playing right now. It's so crazy to see. But Clean takes another death almost to Bash Tree. Just a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I can't fault him. Like, I think he's still trying to calm down a little bit after, you know, his first death right there. So it might take him a split or two to really get back into his mojo. Which is totally understandable. I mean, this mid game is very, very difficult. I mean, Ori just in general is a very difficult game. Just there's a lot of places where you can die and you generally won't expect it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Trojan. And so Clean now arriving at Bash Tree. We're going to see also how well he does as he progresses towards the key dupe section and then traveling out. Meanwhile, Infinite on the left is going to be going for his attempts at his swamp entry. And so we're going to see if he ends up going for that double bash method on controller, which he so discovered himself, or if he's going to opt to do an alternative strat. So on the left, yeah, look at that. There are the double bashes. Oh, that's so sick to see. And then here he's going to be manipulating the frog shot over. And last shot. All right, gets the double bash, gets the second one, and the 4 breaks. First try, swamp entry from Infinite. Nicely done.
Just absolutely made that, you know, he just completely owned that trick and made it look like child's play. What great. And again, with his analog method, that is a lot more finicky than the normal KBM method as well. It's again something he came up with, so he's very comfortable with it. And he's even doing this double bash method to save a little bit of time going through there. What an absolute madman.
Yeah, that's so crazy to see, dude. Infinite is just really putting on a clinic here. And now that he is at Stomp Tree, he is going to be progressing towards the left side of the map now. Just what a great job. And Clean is now also going to be about to do his own attempts at Swamp Entry. So we're going to see how well that goes for him.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if he opts to get the lasers that Infinite let the cutscene play out and have those lasers through Grotto, because you have to avoid those on the way back. Some people will opt to put down a save and quit rekindle right there to skip that, so it's a little bit safer. But first, we're going to say hi to our friend Ringo, and very nice job from Infinite to use him with, again, that double bashing. And very, very nice job. Even gets a nice cycle to not have to dash glide through there. Very nice job.
All right, also on the left here is going to be a bit of a cutscene skip if he gets this. He does first try. Nicely done. That's just a very specific setup, and he nailed that movement. Meanwhile, on the right, Cleanfel, not having clean water, is going to have to find an alternative way to get towards his Stomp Tree. So now he's going to be bashing the frog up and bashing him over. Nicely done. That water there, if the frog touches that, that's instant death. And, oh, cool. So Clean is actually going for an alternative method here where he's going to be bringing the frog down. This is a little bit slower than the double bash method, but this method does not require any double bashes. But, oh, no!
Oh,
but the frog was still alive. It had enough health for him to be able to bash off of it once. And he is still able to get in there off of the first frog. So, nicely done from Clean. That's actually pretty insane.
Yeah, I was clinching on both sides right there, because not only did I think Clean actually kill his frog right there, but Infinite took 2 damage trying to do this little faster setup after he got that 5th energy cell. And on his jump back, nearly hit the spikes again. I mean, literally hit this tiny little part of wall. And it's just like, it's so absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Clean must be like, oh no, like you saw him pause on that bash on the frog, and he's like, oh no, I messed up. And then the frog was still alive. He's like, wait, I can make this work. And then he did. It was like really incredible to see. Nicely done from Clean.
Thankfully, that frog did not croak right there.
Yeah. Why, Trojan? Why? Oh no.
Alright, while Cobra Muffin hopefully doesn't die from that joke right there, Infinite is going all his way up through Valley right there, and opts to not take a safety save, which a lot of the top runners, they'll go through this whole section without using any energy, so that it saves the energy going for Sorrow Bash that's coming up here. And do you want to talk about a little bit of the fast stomp list he's doing right now?
Yeah, sure. So Infinite can either move over to the left there to stomp the rocks, or he can end up angling a spider shot at a really specific angle. Nicely done. That angle and placement looked good. And then while the spider shot is actually traveling over, he just gets to pick up an ability cell. So the real time save there is just being able to get that ability cell while the spider shot is traveling over. Both just like walking over and stopping the rocks and doing fast stomp lists are roughly the same amount of time, give or take. Humanity, but just really, really nicely done from Infinite with that solid setup. Now he's going to be going into Sorrow Bash, which actually skips a huge dungeon. And it's very important because Infinite only has 4 health, that he doesn't touch any of the spikes, because that's right, they deal exactly 4 damage. And so he can end up just taking an instant death. So we're going to see how Infinite does on this trip.
Yep, he takes the Rocket Jump Frog Express upward and is going to start a Sorrow Bash right here. He is going to opt for that first double bash and is going to set up his bird. Oh, and unfortunately kills the bird. I took a little bit too much of a vertical bash right there, and the bird ate some spikes, and unfortunately he ate some spikes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that it's not just Ori as sort of the player character here that can end up taking damage from the spikes, but also these enemies. So, What? He saved that dude? How did he do that? The double bashes on controller with the analog stick to be able to last-ditch effort bring that Sorrow Bash back. What a play. Yeah, look at that instant replay in the bottom left. That is so insane, dude. That has to be like the play of the tournament so far for me. That is insane.
The presence of mind to glide cancel that stomp right there is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, again, stomp doesn't give you much time to react, and he probably did that within about like 5 or 10 frames, like not much time, and just the presence of mind is absolutely ridiculous. And what is
and then Trojan, like just after that, he just busts out crazy juggle, right? All these 2 to 3 frame press windows, dude. Like if that first Sorrow Bash hadn't happened, he would be ahead of his PB right now. But he's just like, even though he lost that, even though he lost PB picks, he's just still able to bring himself back mentally and emotionally, bust out these really insanely difficult strats. What a run from Infant, dude. This is so insane to see.
Yeah, and Clean is going for his fast stompless right now. Oh, this is a very different setup than what I normally see. He's actually going from the right-hand side of that lip. And let's see if he got the shot good. The movement so far is pretty good and gets it. Very nice from Cleanfel.
Wow. Nicely done from Clean. And so Clean on the right, after this like 20 to 30 second cutscene, he's going to be able to pick up his very own glide and head up for his own attempts at Sorrow Bash. Meanwhile, Infinite on the left is going to be working his way out of Sorrow. He has the Sunstone, which gets us access to Mount Horu, and he has collected the skill tree in this area, which is going to be none other than Charge Jump. And he is going to be heading down to Missy, which has some of the most awesome movement in the entire speedrun.
First, he's gonna, you know, express his anger at the Sorrow Bash death by stomping on a couple platforms, just telling Sorrow he doesn't appreciate its shenanigans. And does a nice meteor kick, which is the same thing as a rocket jump, just downward instead of upward. And we get to see some very nice chain of charge, dash, and bash cancels on all of these enemies. And even, oh, good lord, okay, takes a little bit of damage, so has to be very careful because now any of these spikes will kill him right now. So I noted he did take a little bit of a shorter one, and okay, is going to use that extra energy they had to save and refill his energy. Very heads up play by Infinite right there.
Yeah, that's actually really good, like bringing himself up, and now he's back down to 2 HP, but that's okay. I mean, there's another energy crystal around that would be really quick for him to collect if he wants it. Meanwhile, on the right, Cleanfel actually first tried Sorrow Bash there. It was really, really nice and clean, as you can imagine. But that being said, he's going to be showcasing off another way to get up to Sunstone. And then on the left, Infinite just able to bust through. And even though he's on 2 HP, busting out lots of fast strats to be able to make his way through some instant death sections for him to make it to Climb Tree. Nicely done from both far runners.
Yeah, we get some nice synchronized tree acquisition right there on both sides. Cleanfel is going to be taking this save anywhere glitch right here, and it's going to do that terror break method that we alluded to earlier on in the commentary, and is going to just drop a save right up there near the ceiling, and is going to charge jump and hold that direction and break the wall just as so. And very nice job as Infinite had to take a little bit of time to go through there. Oh, and unfortunately was at 1 HP and took a bit of a death from that spider. It got caught in its web.
Yeah, it's so tough because, like, as you imagine in a casual playthrough, you'll have like 2 to 3 times as much health in these sections, as well as like a lot of other stuff, like more energy for saves and stuff like that. But like in speedrunning, it's like all about like pushing stuff to the limit, optimizing your energy. Place to save, use it energy. So that's an uncanceled charge dash or a rocket jump that you can no longer do. So Infinite says, you know what, I'm going to just try and get through the section, but unfortunately face planting into a spider. But I mean, his movement now, it's like, it's still so amazing, and he's able to get through these sections no problem.
Yeah, very much so. And I wonder now, since he's probably okay, never mind, he's doing meatball strats. Okay, he's still gonna be going. I was about to say, I wonder if he'll take a little more consistent strats, but nah, he's still doing some spicy meatball strats. And okay, we're gonna finish up the Misty area. Nothing, you saw nothing on the screen right there.
Yeah, that was nothing. I mean, wait, there's a mini boss there? What?
I'm pretty sure it got patched out of the game. I don't think it's there
probably.
anymore.
Yeah. All right. Memes aside, looks like Infinite is going to be exiting Misty, while Cleanfel is now entering it, and Cleanfel on the right is going to be working his way down towards that climb tree. So coming across here, nicely done. Nice bashes there to be able to get off the frogs and refund that energy, so he's able to charge dash even more, which is a little bit faster than just normal dashing. And he is going to come up to a kind of a spooky section here. We're going to see if he just goes ham in this. No, I like that. I like that play from Clean, just dropping that save there, because if he takes a death in this section, he would have gotten sent like all the way back up to Sunstone, which would have been Feels Bad Man. But even though he didn't need it, that save as a little bit of a safety checkpoint, he was able to cleanly make it through Climb Tree and then just like have peace of mind going there.
Yeah, and that peace of mind is so important, especially you know, after what happened in the mid game. And it looks like he settled down and is getting back to his normal gameplay right now, which is really great to see on Clean's side. So let's see how he can do for the remainder of this run, as he's getting to the second half of Mystery right now. Ooh, takes a little bit of a hit on those spikes, and yeah, he'll drop his save right there. He's still only at 3 HP, so Steph will still kill him, and gives the frog a taste of some lasers right there.
Nicely done. Infinite, meanwhile, on the left, has picked up his last skill tree. All that's left for him is to make it on over to Mount Horu, enter it, and then start and finish the final escape. And so, nice rocket jump there from Infinite on the left as he's going to be progressing up through here. Going under the crushers, nicely done. He's going to be grabbing this health cell, and I believe that is going to be the last health cell that he collects, because now he's on 5 health. But we'll see as he like passes through. He mentioned that he is going to be watching the restream, so he knows that he does have quite a lead coming into this final leg of the run. And so if he wants, he could just opt to pick up his 6th health cell for no real concern. But ooh, Infinite's energy is very, very low as well. And he just left an energy crystal back there, so
ooh, yeah, sorry, and takes the C-dash right into that suicide slime, so he's only at 2, so anything will kill him right now, and he's got to be a little bit careful as he goes through with this Frankie and Baneling coming up. And looks like he gets through right there and is going to change some charge dashes, and beautiful. And we are going to be entering Mount Horu, and you're going to see the front of Mount Horu for approximately about 6 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, so Infinite entering here after the game saves for him. He's going to quit and reload and then reopen the game. If he nails this timing press, he's going to be able to wrong warp to the final escape. No, he doesn't quite get it. This is a 1/60th of a second timing window, or 1 frame trick, and not quite second try either. That's okay. He's probably just going to like slow down his pacing and try and get the timing. Yeah, this is so tricky. Trojan.
Yeah, so the first couple he was a little late. That other one, he was a little bit early because he tried pressing up and Ori didn't go through the door. So see if he gets it. Okay, he gets it on the 5th try. Very nice job from Infinite right there. And we will be heading on to the end of the escape. And is not going to do the warm skip that we've seen some other runners do. It's just going to do the nice vanilla start cutscene where we see this bird we haven't seen much of grop a little bit.
There he is. All right, this is it for Infinite. If he's able to get through this escape without taking any damage for the poison water section, he is going to be able to bypass the necessity to have picked up clean water early on. So here we go. He's going to be charge jumping up and then bashing off some lanterns. So far, so good. This is going to be kind of the spooky room as he breaks this wall, able to bash off the elemental shock before falling into the flaming pit of death. And then now he's going to be dashing through. Okay, this is it. 5 HP. Is he going to be able to get out of this water before he dies? He is. Nicely done.
Yeah, and he skips a little bit of a cutscene trigger for Kuro, so has despawned Kuro, can take his time right here for this final grenade jump, and gets it first try and no soft log, and that is going to be GG for Infinite.
And there it is for Infinite, being able to close out this match, taking a win, and he is going to be progressing on over to the round of 16 to face his next opponent.
Speaking of grenade jumps, Clean showing off a nice little grenade jump to exit from the grenade tree area right there. And I mean, there's a lot of places where you can do some fun grenade jumps, and it's good to see that Clean is showing them off in a couple other locations than you would normally see. And with that,
Yeah.
Infinite is hopping over with Naru right now, and a little extra optimization at the end, and is going to end with a 31-28 GG to Infinite, who is going to come out the victor here today.
All right, GG Infinite taking the win. Clean, meanwhile, on the right is going to be entering the last leg of his own adventure, coming on through. So there, nice rocket jump off of that Frankie there. He's going to come over here and break this energy crystal up, just leaving some of that behind. That should be okay, because once we start the final escape, we are going to get our energy refunded, as long as we don't do warmth escape, which I don't think he does. And yep, okay, he gets over the instant death lava fields, and now he is going to be trying his own attempts at door rotation.
Man, let's see how many times. I believe in the first try for Cleanfel right here. I think he's going to do it. Don't let me down, Clean. No pressure. All right, he's going to exit out right here and load back in, and absolutely nails it. There you go. There we have it. Cleanfel with the first try, door warp right there, and is going to finish the horror escape.
All right, nicely done from Clean, and now with 5 HP of his own, he's also going to have a similar final escape being coming through here. He can't take any damage before the poison water section. So we're going to see exactly how clean his movement is going to be without that clean water pickup. Oh, no! Oh, it just takes a little bit of an unfortunate situation. Yeah, there we go. Okay. He's able to not make that mistake a second time. And now he is in the lantern room. Oh, no, the lava pillar. Oh, is he going to go through? Yeah, okay, nice. He's able to get through before that lava plume is able to take him out. And nice, gets through the elemental room, and now he's going to go for the sprint.
All right, let's see if he can get the fishes in a good position, and it looks like that so far, and there he is. He's out of it. Very nice from Cleanfel. Also despawns Crow successfully, so he can take his nice sweet time to line up this grenade jump right here, and looks all right, and is through as well, and that's going to be GG for Cleanfel. Is coming out with a, looks like a low to mid 34. That's a very respectable time, especially compared to his PB. So really great job by Cleanfel, putting up a great performance as well.
Yeah, nicely done from Clean. Some unfortunate deaths in the mid game, but beyond that, I was just very impressed with his play going through here. Like first try Sorrow Bash, he was able to get some really nice movement in other portions of the run as well. And then I just mean his late game was just like such a treat to watch. And so here, time's going to come up for Clean right there, 34:29.3 from live split. GG Clean. Unfortunately, walking away with a loss here, so he's going to be kicked out of the tournament. But just such a strong performance in the qualifiers, already meeting his goal with getting a slick PB and a qualifier goal of sub 34. And then closing out an impressive performance in the round of 32. What a treat to watch him as he performed today.
Yeah, very much so. And with that, we're going to pull our runners in here. GG everyone, and GG Infinite on the way.
Thank you.
Yo, GG.
All right, Infinite. So first question over to you. That Sorrow Bash, man, did you realize at Glide that you were actually on PB pace going into that segment?
I thought that maybe, but I wasn't really sure.
Were you like nervous going into your first Sorrow Bash attempt, or was it just like just a slight miss angle on the bird into the spikes?
I was really nervous, especially on the second one.
Oh man, yeah! How did you do that, dude? Like, I mean, your double bash method on controller is just so awesome to see, but then that recovery on that second Sorrow Bash. You want to tell us a bit about that?
I panicked so much. I don't know, I just somehow did it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you nailed that stop, like, down the spike, you're like, oh no, and then you, like, hit that glide timing. That was really cool. And then, did that kind of, like, calm you down after the first death to Sorrow Bash and then getting into Sorrow, or were you just, like, able to channel your nervous energy heading into that section?
It calmed me down a little bit, because I knew that I'm not on PB pace anymore. So yeah, I got a little bit calmer going into the sea juggle and sorrow.
Yeah, we were we were all kind of amazed and like how you were able to pull back the Tsara Bash, and your movement overall was clean. I wanted to get your take on it. What did you do practice wise to help with you now going into the bracket stage after qualifying as the 9th seed from the first races?
I was practicing a lot. I was grinding a lot, and especially the late game, and looks like it paid off.
Yeah, it definitely did for sure. And now I want to bring it over to Cleanfel. Also, GG to you, man. Put up a great performance, only about 40 seconds off of your PB. And I want to see your early game was really, really solid. And you were actually keeping pace with Infinite up until a little bit of the Genso shenanigans. Like, how are you feeling for most of the race?
Oh, yeah, the whole race felt pretty nice to me. Like, in my splits, like I was 40 seconds behind at Bash, and then I ended up only being about 44 seconds behind at the end. So I was pretty much consistent the whole rest of the run. Just I had some big kind of hiccups there, which just was some nerves. Just the classic nerves that come in because I usually don't mess up that room. It's just what happens when you're in a race setting. But yeah, no, I felt really good about the whole thing generally.
Yeah, like speaking of like freak out sections, Clean, can you tell me a little bit about your swamp entry? You remember what happened?
Yeah, I like the kind of controller kind of setup, but I always do it in a way where I have one extra hit on that frog just in case.
Oh wow.
And like it looked because like the way I was, because I timed the bash on the frog to go like through the roof. Like at that point the roof would be broken. It looked like it broke, but I had to really look at it for like just a millisecond more, and I realized that's not broken. So I have like, okay, this is fine. Frog can take one more hit. So yeah, I just set it up again, and phew, that time it didn't work out.
Nicely done. I guess another question for you, Clean. Like, was there a point in the run? You mentioned you were having some nerves going into the like beginning and mid game, but did you just kind of like calm down at a certain point, just be able to tune into the movement? Because I mean, your late game was really impressive. First try fast stompless, first try sorrow bash. Like, do you have any advice to the people who also suffer from nerves out there?
I just think, well, for me, best thing like for this race, even though I was like not favored to win, I still like didn't even look at the restream, didn't even look at I turned off the SRL like at Dash, because at that point, like I mean, if like last race, I mean that was crazy, but they both watched each other, so they knew like where exactly they were, so then they know where the nerves would like come in. And for me, it's just kind of like I'm just doing a normal run, just doing nothing too crazy. It's kind of like just try to zone out the fact that you're actually in a tournament race. It's just kind of better for me to just kind of zone out and just have a nice clean run. And no pun intended, but maybe pun intended, you know. But yeah, I just think generally it is a bit with practice, because like even at first, even when you hide all that stuff, you'll still feel crazy. Right. I think generally just with practice and kind of keeping yourself calm down and like hiding that stuff, you can do really well about that nerves.
Awesome, cool. Thank you so much, Clean, and great run. Unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the tournament to you, but congratulations once again on like hitting your goal, especially in the qualifier round. That was such a treat to watch.
Yo, thanks, Muffin. Thanks, Trojan.
That being said, one more question, throwing it over to you, Infinite. Now walking away with a win, you are going to be progressing to the round of 16, where you are going to be facing off Raziel in a best of 3. How are you feeling about that matchup going forward?
I am excited but nervous. I know Raziel has a lot better PB than me, so I will need to have a really good run to win. But we will see, I guess.
Awesome. That being said, I'm going to throw it to you, Trojan, for closing out. GG again, Infinite.
Thanks.
Yeah, what a great race that we had here between Cleanfel and Infinite coming out with the victory. But up next, stay tuned. There is more Ori action just happening in 15 minutes from now. It's going to be Voligen against Tass Snoop. Another round of 32 match. Again, best of one. So putting it all on the line here in this one race to see if they can go on to the round of 16, where that winner will be going up against Primorix. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a really good one. But Covert, thank you so much for commentating with me. It was an absolute ball.
Yeah, it indeed was. And also major thanks to Nance and Sarah Barron for helping out with the truck for this match, and of course Meldon for the restream. And thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting this tournament. And we are so excited to bring you more awesome Ori content. So stay tuned, because we still have this channel for the next couple hours.
All right, see you guys in a bit.